Video calls have invaded our working days, with one-to-ones with line managers, team chats, and client meetings all taking place on platforms such as Zoom or Teams. But would dedicating a day to no video chats make your employees more productive? Gone are the days where a simple phone call or text message would suffice, as we now rely heavily on video calls to communicate with one another as we continue to work remotely. And this has actually sparked something called Zoom fatigue, where employees are starting to feel more drained and tired due to the amount of screen time they are having to endure because they are working remotely. But some employers are still forcing their employees to take part in Zoom calls. And one example of this is a story that HR Grapevine recently covered, where an anonymous employee shared that their boss forces them to take part in post-work happy hour Zoom drinks. And they shared that they hated the expectation to attend these, which of course can then lead to resentment and a lack of morale among team members. But another employer is actually changing the tide when it comes to Zoom fatigue and is introducing something called Zoom Free Fridays. Citigroup's chief exec recently told staff that they would be given a break from the relentlessness of the pandemic workday, with internal video calls being stopped on Fridays. The firm's chief exec shared that the business had listened to the feedback of staff and that it was apparent that it needs to combat Zoom fatigue. While internal video calls will be stopped altogether on Fridays, staff will still hold any Zoom meetings with clients and regulators that are scheduled. And this shows just how far video calls are impacting employees' lives in the workplace. And several studies have also alluded to this. One in particular from Robert Half found that 44% of workers have experienced video call fatigue since the start of the pandemic. The data also showed that employees found that virtual meetings were inefficient and exhausting, and that they would actually prefer to speak to their clients or colleagues over the phone or via email. But again, this isn't just what Citigroup is doing to show that they're supporting the well-being of their staff during this time. The firm's chief exec also shared that Friday the 28th of May of this year would be a company-wide holiday dubbed Citi Reset Day. Plus, the business is also going to start encouraging employees to book more time off of work. These initiatives clearly show that employers are starting to make real change when it comes to combating Zoom fatigue, which will only help to improve matters such as engagement and productivity among workforces in the future. So if more initiatives such as Citigroup's are rolled out within businesses, Zoom fatigue may soon be stamped out. But do you think this is the way to go? Please do let us know your thoughts in the comments below this video.